Hey guys, welcome back to the Hardware Sense channel. My name is Ivan, and for today we have another mouse. You guys know I love peripherals, all kinds of peripherals, keyboards, mouses, whatever you're gonna call it. As you can see, if you've been with my channel for a while, you know that I have plenty of these. The MotoSpeed 18, V18, V80, we have the Ajazz. You guys seen some other mouses. Right now I have the RGB gaming, professional grade gaming mouse, and I'm doing this quotation because I love how companies put this kind of stuff. What does it mean professional? I mean, if you're a professional, any mouse can be a professional, right? But regardless, this one piqued up my interest, around $16 on GearBest. I had to buy it myself, obviously. None of the products on my channel are basically provided by any of those companies. I'm buying everything myself. We're gonna unbox it real quick, see what's inside. We're gonna plug it in, see how the comfort is, how it's comparing to some of the other mice I have, how it's compared to, you know, my main one, which is the M01. You've seen that before. But real quick, on the back of the box, you can kind of pause and see some of the outlined features of this one. This is actually, you know, kind of a higher grade mouse because it uses original OMRON keys, which is great. OMRON is one of the top producer of keys for mice. And you have 12,000 DPI optical sensor. It's right hand tailored. You have conical scroll wheel, which is great. Separated button design, which it's not a big deal. That's just a bigger gap between the left and right mouse click button. You have adjustable backlighting, which is RGB. I'm not sure if that's going to be able to get adjusted through computer somehow, or it's going to be third-party software. We're going to test that and see. We have a pluggable cable. I don't know how that's a big feature. For me, that's not a big deal unless you really want to grab another cable and just extend it. But then there's USB cable extensions. Why would you put that as a feature? Unless, you know, the only benefit I can see is if you want to travel with the mouse and just unplug the cable, fold it, put it in your backpack so it won't just stick out. That's probably the only plus I see on that feature. And aircraft grade aluminum structure. How much is aircraft? Nobody knows, but yeah, that's true. The base of the mouse is made of aluminum or aluminium for all my friends outside of the United States. So let's get into the unboxing, see what exactly is inside of this nice little box from RGB, and plug the mouse, see how it's comparing to some of the other ones, and I'll talk to you in a second. All right, up close and personal with the RGB by Tech gaming mouse M01. To be honest, I'm not familiar with RGB as a company. That's probably one of the first products I've encountered myself, and from what I'm seeing, I really like it. To be honest, that's what piqued my interest. The design, it's kind of familiar to some of the other companies you probably have seen, but again, I wanted to grab this one and check it out. As mentioned, it was $16 at the time. I think still is $16 or around $17. Real quick opening, very nice box, I have to say. Nice detail graphics of the mouse, and you can see this is the pluggable cable they're talking about. That's minor negative, but it's micro USB. Ideally, I would have loved to see a USB Type-C, but for that price point, you can't really expect much. You have your obligatory sniper button, which for some of my mice, I have configured to be like 3 times shooting. Let's say for like first-person shooter, if you press it, instead of pressing 3 times left button, that's what this button is doing. So it's all programmable. You can do whatever you want, and you have the normal back and forward right above it, which is great if you are browsing and you know go back and forward between the different pages. DPI adjustment on the top, and the conical wheel. It's supposed to be very ergonomical and comfortable for your finger. So let's pop it in. Straight on top of it is the mouse right here. Really nice kind of a matte black plastic, but let me pull it out of the box. And what else? Well, actually this is coming apart, which is good. One thing to notice before we go to the mouse is the whole user manual is in English. You guys know most of the times if you get a product from China, most likely the user manual and the quick start guide are in Chinese, so not very convenient, but this one is in fact in English, and it's great. You know, if you want to read through it and see how everything is done. All the instructions, pretty self-explanatory, by the way. If you ever use computer, just plug the USB to the USB and that's it. Great touch, it's in English, I like that. So let's take it out of this box, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing else in the box. So I'm just gonna put the box to the side and talk to you about the mouse itself. First thing to notice, the cable is braided, but it's kind of stiff. That's one of the minor negatives, I think. If you are, let's say, plug this in the back of your computer and it's kind of laying on top of your desk, when you move the mouse, the whole cable can move things with it. If you have other things around, other cables or anything, the cable, because it's so stiff, it's going to start moving things around a little bit more. Again, that's minor gripe. Ideally, I would like to see a softer braided cable that is not that hard to move around. Nice thing, they included this hook and loop strap, so you can easily just pack it and transport it. And the length of the cable is your normal 5 feet, so it will reach to the back of pretty much any desktop or laptop that it's around you. I'm glad that they didn't put gold-plated tip on the USB, which really doesn't matter for the contacts. And this is the mouse itself. No crazy branding, pretty much. I like that. It says gaming mouse. Okay, great, but at least the letters are small and it's not anything, you know, flashy and super crazy. The real logo is in the back, lighting up when you plug it in, but again, we're gonna test that and show it. Another small negative, ideally these sides, I would love them to be rubberized plastic or rubber itself, just because of the grip. The heft is very good. I think it's not too light, not too heavy, so the balance is nice because we don't have additional balances to add. And this is the bottom, red colored aluminum or aluminum, which is really nice, kind of contrasts the black. So black and red is really a nice color combination. We have some plastic here in the back. I'm assuming here there will be more LEDs to kind of light up. And one big positive for me is this placement of the sniper button. It's a little bit back. I have a lot of mice that are forward, so you gotta reposition your hand and press in order to use it, basically. But here it's actually perfect. It's exactly what my thumb lays, so I can press it and quickly reposition to the other buttons. So that's very good. This is the clickiness. I'm gonna move it close to the microphone so you can hear it. Not too clicky, but again, it's not very silent either. And then, as mentioned before, those switches are OMRON, which is good. The wheel is silent and very nice with rubber. You can click it as well. And being conical, it's actually comfortable, I gotta say. When you place your hand on top of it, and depends how you hold your mouse. Obviously, you know, if you're claw grip or you're palming it, it's still pretty comfortable. The clicks are very nice. That scroll is very nice. And let's see if we can unplug this cable, which is kind of hard to unplug, but there it is. So this is what they were talking about. You can unplug that micro USB cable. And again, probably the biggest benefit is just fold it, put it in your backpack, and then put the mouse in your backpack. So it's easier to transport, I guess. But then when you're ready to use, because it's not wireless, there's no battery inside of it, you have to kind of navigate the mouse cable through this channel and then push a little bit, clicks in place, and off you go. On top, we have the DPI selector. As mentioned, you can have up to 12,000 DPI. And we're done with the unboxing. Let's plug it in the computer and see how it's actually gonna light up and if we have any control over those LEDs or we have to install some third-party software. So let's go to the computer right now. Quickly, for size comparison, you can see this is the gaming mouse on the right. In the middle is my Zeronis wireless mouse, which I absolutely love. Actually, I'm using this one predominantly all the time right here. And whenever the battery runs out in the middle of a game, I tend to grab the Mionix, which is also plugged in all the time. And this is the Mionix right here. Comfort-wise, I really like these two. Really like. I mean, honestly, you know how many mice and mouses I have tried, and I really like comfort, but these are the two that I almost always come back to because of the comfort they provide for my size of my palm. And again, mouse is using a different mouse, it's definitely subjective, and all depends on the shape of your hand and how you like to use that mouse, how do you grip it. So I can't really say, hey, buy this one because it's the best. That will depend on you, will depend on what you do with the mouse and how much time you spend with it and all that additional comfort. All right, now let me plug in the RGB mouse and see if we can adjust those LEDs, or we're gonna have to install a third-party software, which ideally I don't want to do, to be honest with you guys. All right, now that the mouse is plugged in the computer, let's see how it compares to the other ones I have. These two, the Zeronis and the Mionix, as mentioned before, are two of my favorite ones because of the shape and the size. But look at this one. This is what I was saying about the placement of the sniper button. If you look at the side profile of the Zeronis, look how far forward that sniper button is. So if you place your hand on top of it, which this is my natural position, look how far away from my thumb is. I have to move forward in order for me to press it, which is not the most convenient thing. Now here with the RGB mouse, if I grab the mouse like I'm actually playing with my claw grip, my thumb right here lays on top of the sniper button. So it's perfect. When you click it, it does 3 shots at the same time. Quick example, if you're playing PUBG and let's say you're having a sniper rifle like the SLR or SKS, you know that every time you shoot, you gotta click 1, 2, 3, you know, you gotta be fast with that button. But with this, if you click it, the sniper rifle will do 3 shots, one after another, super fast. It helps a lot, trust me. I've tested it many times before and it's great. And I've seen a lot of people actually using this kind of options as well. Here are the lights. Let's go to the lights real quick. You see how it's pulsating? The LED underneath the logo and the other LEDs right here on the grill in the back that I mentioned. I knew that's going to be lit up. Unfortunately, you cannot adjust these. I did not see any adjustment and I'm not really keen on installing third-party software. I don't know if it's even available in order for you to change that. But what changes is when you change the DPI, you will see how it changes from, let's go all the way down. Green is the first option. Then if you go up, you have red, you have blue, you have purple, you have light blue, and that's the highest DPI. So ideally, let me see, where can I use mine? Probably red. One step above, maybe 800 is my ideal position for the DPI. Otherwise, it's too slow if I go down one time, or if it's too fast when I go up too much. So this is about 800 or 1200 DPI. That's how I would like to keep it. The bottom, very nice placement of the gliding mats. You have 5 of them. It's not catching anywhere on the mat, which is great. A lot of mice I had in the past, some of them will have imperfections and they will catch when you slide, which you gotta file them, and it's not the most convenient thing. But these are very nicely done, alongside with the aluminum or aluminum in the bottom. The weight is perfect balance for me. You don't have to add weight or remove, but again, that's very subjective. Again, how you like your mouse to be. And playing, this is one thing to mention about the cable. Look how it's coiled up because of how stiff and hard it is. But again, that's a minor gripe. Once you start playing and you kind of extend it, it's probably not going to be that big of a deal. Very comfortable wheel. Again, among all these mouses or mice I have, this wheel is probably the most comfortable because it's how it's conically done, and it's a little bit more inward. So when you place your finger on top of it, it's more natural for your hand. What other thing to mention is the size is slightly smaller than what I prefer, especially compared to these two. Ideally, I would like it to be a little bit taller and maybe a little bit bigger. But again, that's very subjective, depends on what kind of hands shape do you have and how do you like your mice to be. You know, a lot of people like it smaller, a lot of people like a bigger mouse, but I'm gonna give it to my daughter to test. She's 10 years old. Obviously, she has a lot smaller hands than me. So we'll see what kind of feedback she's gonna provide on the RGB mouse and if it's comfortable for her. But from what I see so far, I really like it. I can definitely recommend it, especially for the price of $16, $17 at the moment. It's a great deal. You have detachable cable if you want to put another one and extend it or shorter, and it's great when you travel. You have a great DPI switch. Placement of the sniper button is the best that I have among all the other mice. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Let's move on to the conclusion. All right, guys, so the RGB mouse, is it good? Yes, good enough for you to spend your $16, $17. I definitely like this mouse. Best features for me, sniper button, very comfortable, lays exactly where it needs to be, right underneath my thumb. Build construction is great. You have the aluminum base with the 5 pods, sliding pods right here. You have detachable cable. They might be an option for somebody. Maybe you like that or not. Some people might not care about it. You have the comfortable DPI switch here, changes colors, and not so in your face light underneath the logo and right here in the back in that grill. Overall, I think the build quality, the construction, and the ergonomics is perfect, especially if you have smaller hands and if you like a lower mouse that's laying lower to your mouse pad and not too high. I prefer higher ones, but I can definitely recommend this one too because it's kind of comfortable. Look at the back side of it, how well it's tailored with a little twists and kind of a sloping form and shape. That will be fully tested by my daughter playing different games, and she will give me her feedback, and obviously I will update another video if you guys are interested in that. But as of now, I really like this mouse. Minor gripes are the stiff USB cable, maybe not enough height for me personally. You might like that, but again, $16. Would I recommend it? Yes, absolutely. I think it's a great buy. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you very much for the support. Hit the thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe if you're new. A lot more hardware coming into the channel. I have so many new things that I'm eager to show you guys. Support me, and until next time, you have a wonderful day.